How's it going, everyone? College Lefty, and in this video I'm going to be playing some NBA 2K24. I truly think I have one of the best builds in the entire game. This is the best build that fits my play style, and it's going to be a 6'6" small forward sharpshooter. And I kind of want to go through the badges here. I haven't really played 2K since 2K17. I played a little bit of the game last year because they released it for free, and I wanted to try it out. I decided, hey, that kind of worked. I purchased the game this year, and I've been having a good amount of fun with it. I do also have a center build that's a 3-level threat, and since creating this video, I have earned some of those S-tier badges like Fearless Finisher, and did boost up my strength to get the Clamps badge. So with that being said, I could upgrade this player to about a 94 overall right now, but I don't really want to do that because it takes a while to get into a game of rec against random players. But I wanted to kind of take you through me building this player, right? If you look at the badges, I have a lot of badges on bronze and silver. This is when I'm first, trying out this guy at a rebirth 90 overall. I didn't have all of the badges high enough to get silver badges to start with, so I do have some on bronze. But ultimately, the reason why I like this player the most out of the few players that I've tried is just simply because he can catch and shoot. He does get catch and shoot on Hall of Fame with the 93 mid-range. I like playing more of a spot-up shooting type of style. And then I will kind of drive and get a driving dunk here and there on a fast break. I don't really dribble the ball too well in this game. Like, I don't know all the dribble moves. I don't know how to combo and get a good speed boost. So I didn't really worry about like my ball handling or speed with ball or anything like that. If you can tell by this gameplay, I'm kind of just running to a spot, hoping that my teammates will pass the ball at certain times. And I'm able to knock down pretty much every open jumper. A lot of people that play this game have been talking about, patching the shooting, patching certain contests, and I've been really trying to learn as much about this game as possible. I don't really know, sometimes when I'm open, sometimes when I am contested, sometimes you just got to go for it. You just, take a jumper and hope for the best. And one thing I wanted to mention after checking this play out right here, if I could change one thing on this build, I would probably take down the blocking attribute, even though that can be helpful with interior defense, and I was able to get the chase down artist badge because of the blocking. I might have put more on the driving layup, just because I'm at 64 for driving layup. You typically want, maybe closer to 80. Anything past 80, you're getting better badges, you're getting better finishing badges, but I just wouldn't use it that much. But as you can see here in the first couple games, I'm putting up a good amount of points. With this build, I do average about 22 points a game, and some games I've dropped more. I've actually dropped a 50-point game with this guy. It was a lot of plays like this where the other team just wasn't playing any defense at all. But if you noticed in this one, we were losing for most of the game. We actually got the lead down here at the very end of the game, and I came up with a clutch defensive play. I think he could have went up there again with it. Maybe put that layup back up after getting the rebound, and maybe would have tied up the game, sent it into overtime, but that was definitely a solid comeback. We were losing the game pretty much the entire time, and my teammates were passing me the ball a lot. I only had 3 assists. I took a lot of shots in that last one. Typically, I don't do that, right? I try to take only open shots. I'm trying to move the ball around. You're not going to win in this game if you're taking bad shots, if you're just dribbling up the court, not involving your teammates. It's going to be, it's going to mess up the flow of the game a little bit. But so far with this gameplay, I got a couple good teammates on the squad. Some of these guys are making their shots. This guy missed it, but I was able to get the rebound. Only have, 60 defensive rebound on this guy. But there's some games where I've had, closer to 10 rebounds. This guy does have the post control as well, so I will get post fade phenom on Hall of Fame. That's a really good badge. Post scoring in this game is really overpowered if you know how to use the post moves. And I've been learning a little bit. I do have a center, like I mentioned earlier, so that's kind of where I practice some of the post moves. With this guy, I mainly just use the post fade or the drop step move, and then maybe do like a quick turnaround jumper or dish it out with the post playmaker. But yeah, these teammates were pretty dialed in. We're making our shots. Sometimes when I do play with the center, we have lower scoring games. My guy's not even the best defensive player, but typically my offensive guys on my team are able to make as many shots. Like, that's why I like using a sharpshooter. I can at least guarantee one person, myself, on the team that can make jump shots as long as I can get open. Sometimes, the other person that is guarding me has really good perimeter defense, or they're, you know, a small forward lockdown player. That's another reason why I like using the center. I do have, you know, a stretch player. I can shoot threes with my center, so it kind of spreads the floor out a little bit. Sometimes, you know, with this guy, he's more of a paint beast. He's clogging up the paint a little bit, not going to have as many driving dunks, not going to have as many open, I guess, driving dunks when they spread the floor. We're going to get some fast break plays like this one right here. So those are where the dunks are going to come into play. But in terms of like setting up the offense, in this one, our point guard really wasn't, you know, a shot creating guy. He's more of a 3-point passer, and then he had some speed. He could drive and dunk a little bit, put some layups up. But once again, 30 points here in this game. And this is what I do a lot of times, right? Just try and find a spot on the court that nobody's there. Cherry pick a little bit, as I like to call it, you know, playing some club basketball and things like that. I never really played basketball. I did try out for the middle school team, having never played before. I ended up making it in my 8th grade year, and was a bench warmer, role player. I dribbled up the court, you know, got the ball stolen, then the coach would take me out. That was my role on the team. I was always a pretty small guy, so point guard was really the only position I could play. But I was like Jamal Murray. I could not dribble with my right hand when I played real basketball. I could always shoot a little bit. I actually played, you know, against a couple college basketball players in like some 3-point contests and won a few times. But that was more at the college level. Anyway, I did always have a good time playing, you know, pickup basketball games and things like that. But I don't know nearly as much about basketball as I do about baseball or football. But I am having fun with the game. In this one, we put up 44 points, kind of ran away with it. My teammates were definitely passing me the ball a lot. But in this one, we had 7 rebounds, 4 assists, definitely doing more than just shooting. But when I was shooting, I was making it for the most part. Did only miss a couple shots in that one. We're going to hop in right into another game here. And in this one, we kind of had a little bit more of a slow start. Only 9 points. We're in the 4th quarter. I kind of wanted to just include a few highlights, kind of just, you know, trying to seal the game here. I thought about passing it. Didn't even really want to walk backwards there. But that was a pretty deep 3 for, you know, not having limitless range. That's the one badge that I don't really use, and it has decreased down to bronze level when it started at silver level. But I've also mixed up my free throw. The few free throws that I've tried have been this one in Carmelo Anthony, not bad. That was a terrible free throw myself. I've also used Michael Jordan. I've used Kevin Durant. I've used a couple different players. I think so far I like Carmelo Anthony and Durant the most. Kobe Bryant is another one that I'm thinking about trying. Always good to try the cover athlete jump shots and animations. That's the player I'm using. That's the jump shot I have on right now. It's like Kobe Bryant, some guy I've never heard of who I just saw on some other person's YouTube channel, and then who else am I using? Carmelo Anthony was the 3rd release, or like the other player. It's just a matter of like how you like to blend it. I think my shot release is on A timing, and then my stability is all on A. Everything is an A with my jump shot, and I think that really makes a difference. I think that's really important. But for me, I do use the push mechanism, where I kind of just like press the button for maybe like less than 1 second, hold it down, and then just release it after a little bit. Press it for a little while. It's hard to kind of explain. I'd have to show it with like a hand cam or something. But I do like this jump shot. I do really like this jump shot here. I'm hitting a 31% contested 3. We're finishing up this game here a little bit more of, I would say, more entertaining gameplay, moving the ball around, 19 points. I did miss a lot more shots in this game though. And sometimes I notice that for me personally, like if I miss my first shot, then I'm more likely to miss, you know, a couple shots throughout the game. I'm not going to get that green machine badge activated. I'm not going to be able to be as consistent. I feel like my shot timing can be off sometimes unless I do make that first shot, whether it's a post fade, whether it's not a post fade. That can affect the post fades later on in the game. It just depends. It just depends. But once I kind of get into a groove, that's when I'm not really going to miss. There's a couple games on here where I only missed 1 shot, put up, 40-something points, 50 points. But overall, I'm really enjoying playing rec with this guy. I don't think he's as good in the park or the city, whatever you want to call it, in like the 3v3 modes, just because he's more of not really like a guard. Like he's more of like a role player, like a 2 or a 3. right? That he is a small forward, so he plays the 3 position. Sometimes they even put me at power forward with this guy, and it's usually a mismatch like on defense for me, but also a mismatch on defense for the opponent, because most power forwards aren't going to have, you know, 80 something or even 93-point shot. I think the highest you can get on a small forward, power forward, is like an 87 or an 88 3, depending on how tall you make them. Obviously, if you go with like a 6'6" build, power forward, I think you can make it higher. But I wouldn't do that, right? Like 6'8", 6'9" is a really good power forward build. So when it does match me up with one of those guys, typically they have better interior defense. I don't drive into the paint. I kind of just sit back and shoot threes, right? If I can get open, my agent threes on gold, even with, you know, without dribble moves, I can still pull up a little bit. And then when they start playing me, or when somebody quits, I go to this post fade phenom. I go to the post fade move, especially against the AI. The AI is really difficult to go up against this year. They play lockdown defense, and they contest pretty much every shot. So you really have to find a way to get open off a pick and roll or using post moves. But these guys quit, and that's going to be my first 2K24 video. I might do that again. I am at the, you know, the gold range. I did make it into the MVP purple badge, which is like, I guess, the top of the top within rec mode or within the rep of this 2K24 game mode. So I don't know. I don't think I'm one of the better players. I'm still learning the game. But I did match up with a couple good teammates, and they kind of carried me a little bit. And then I just shot. I was just shooting. But until next time, I'm College Lefty, and peace out.